My name is Margaret Atwood, and my letter is for friends and family members in distant locations. Thank you for all your messages of concern and support. I'm thinking of you too and hoping that everything is going well for you, or as well as it can go. Despite the annoyances, consider if we're inside a house, if we aren't ill, if the kids and grandkids are all right, and if we have enough food and money to see us through, we can count ourselves very lucky. That's far from being true for everyone. And please forgive me for being so late to reply. It's a strange time, and I've been having a strange time as well. I just barely missed the big up curve in the virus a week later, and I could have found myself marooned in a foreign country. It started well. In late January, fearing no harm, I set out with my sister and my brother-in-law to attend the Hay Literary Festival in Cartagena, Colombia. When this arrangement was made, back in early 2019, I'd hoped that Graham Gibson would be with us. I'd envisaged getting him to a warm place for February, which is the coldest and iciest month in Toronto, but as you know, he died last September. However, the three of us forged ahead anyway. It's a lovely location, and the festival is, or was then, very energetic and interesting. Then I traveled on solo to New Zealand and Australia for an 11-city speaking tour with Alex Fain and Fain Productions. Alex, age 26, and Will Condegaris, age 35, the tech guy, and I, aged 80, racketed around Down Underland, presenting the show in theaters, larking about on electric scooters, going bowling, trying out gambling dens, and meeting rare forms of wildlife that were not being eaten, with me playing the sprightly granny, and the two of them pretending they believed in this act. I also did some fundraising for Forest and Bird, which is working to make New Zealand predator-free by 2050, and for BirdLife Australia, still reeling from the devastating wildfires that had killed a lot of native birds and animals. And in Brisbane, I was able to have lunch with Graham's beloved Australian family members in an echo of the time we'd all shared together with Graham exactly a year before. The virus had not yet hit the countries I was traveling in. Was I apprehensive? Increasingly so as time went on. We can all remember where we were at certain abrupt moments of change, the assassination of Kennedy or 9/11, but the COVID-19 crisis unfolded slowly, and so did my awareness of it. By the time I left Perth, Australia at the beginning of March, the virus was still showing a flat line globally. My last stop was Galway, Ireland, where I'd often been with Graham. Since I knew this would be difficult for me, I'd invited my friend Colleen Quinn to accompany me. I was still recovering from the case of shingles I'd come down with in Tasmania while visiting the Bob Brown Foundation Swift Parrot Aid Camp in the Tarkine. How exotic that sounds, shingles in the Tarkine. I still have a Harry Potter-like scar on my forehead. Nonetheless, I had a fine time in Ireland, legendary place of fine times, and apparently virus-free, at least in Galway. But I cut it very close. I could see when traveling back through an almost deserted Heathrow on March 10th that things were suddenly getting serious. Fortunately, I had a container of hand sanitizer with me, though it leaked all over me in the plane while I was watching Despicable Me. But I was very sanitized. Once back in Toronto, I went straight into self-isolation as the global curve shot almost straight up. And here I remain, socially distancing, and with sufficient toilet paper, all-purpose flour, yeast, and frozen peas. I do my walking once or twice a day, wearing a very snazzy face mask sewed by my sister Ruth, in which I look like a demented stick-up bandit, and making big semicircles around anyone else, all keeping our distance. The kids are fine, and all of them are in Canada right now, and my sister, being part of the family bubble we are allowed to have, comes to visit, bringing face mask material, and we watch murder mysteries together. As I say, we're lucky. Will there be an other side to this crisis when we can emerge again and take up normal life? Yes, there will be. But will normal life be the same normal life as before? No, it won't. We've been given a pause in which we must consider how we've been living on this planet, what the costs of that are, and how we might do things better, and why we really need to do them better. There's a good side to this bad moment, and if you squint hard, you can almost see it. So long for now, virtual hugs, wash those hands, and keep well. We'll be together again, though come to think of it, we're together now, just in a different way. Warm wishes, Margaret.